What's up, guys? Today we're going to be flying the La-11. Tricky wanted me to make a video showing a plane that I'm not very comfortable in or thought was bad, and I took it up for a spin to see how it did, and these are the results. I'll be kind of commentating on what went right, what went wrong, things I could have done better, and some of the reasoning behind some of the things that I did. So here at the start, we've got I believe a garrison off to our left. We'll see here in just a second. I always like to kind of go in not first, that way I don't take all the aggro from the ADA. In this case, I got there right as the base was taken over. It looks like it's actually a command center, not a garrison. So then, climbing up, as soon as we take over an objective, you want to grab your altitude. Altitude is life. You can convert altitude to airspeed. You have a hard time getting altitude, so it's always good to grab that altitude whenever you have a lull in the battle. So the one thing that I really don't like about the La-11 is the fast overheat time on the guns and the very long cooldown time on it. The guns themselves, the 23mm, are actually fairly powerful, but in my opinion they don't have the cooldown rate that they need. So you always want to try to deal with the highest threats first. That kind of keeps everything from stacking up on top of you and then diving on you. So I see a player in a bomber. Initially I was going to kind of go after him and just try to chase him off, but I decided I'd probably never catch that RB-17. Coming back over the airfield to try and defend it so that they can't spawn there and start taking out the stuff in the back. I was happy to see that the RB-17 didn't initially attack the mining plant. I was kind of starting to think that we may have had a chance. There's another one down. Again, trying to deal with the highest threats first. You got to be really careful in those merges that you don't pull a Syrian overshoot and end up out in front of your target. You want to end up just behind him so that you get the maximum damage on him as he tries to run away. So the RB-17 decided to come in towards the airfield with very low health, and he was just a quick tap. Now here I made a pretty bad decision. I should have gone for the guy on the left first, that way, because you see here now he's behind me. And just pulling a quick out of plane maneuver, where I essentially want to be flying perpendicular to my opponent to give him the least amount of time on target that he can get, and also make him have to maneuver to get his guns on me. Again, those guns overheating is extremely annoying. Again, out of plane maneuver. Now at this point, I chase this guy outside of the cap circle. Normally, I would try to keep the fights inside the cap circles, but I already had the aggro from this spot, and I didn't want him to turn around. He's a lot faster than me, and potentially a little bit more maneuverable. Now, I hadn't flown this plane since 2.0, so I'm still not really sure what it can do and what it can't do. And I didn't want to give up that position on his tail. And as you can see, at this point, I already know the battle's going to be lost anyway, so there's not really that much point in trying to only pick fights over the caps. I can never compete with a bomber and a ground attack player on a one-mine map with a light fighter. That little bot ground attacker back there trying to hit me. At least I think it was a bot. It actually may have been the player. Now the other side to going after that plane there outside the cap was I didn't want to be here when the base was the only thing left, because then everybody would collapse on me and I knew I'd never be able to do anything. So if I stay out of the cap circle until they essentially take it over, they're not going to try to fight me over it right after they take it, and it'll let me get positioned in here. Again, pulling it out of plane maneuver, and then keeping my cockpit to the enemy. Another one down. And we took the airbase back. And this was right about the end of the battle, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave you all. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and have a good one.